bum 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 bum. What is up? There's Jeff Harbaugh. There's Fear Kratos. There's Evil Person. What's up, guys? How are you guys doing today? Welcome. Okay. Hey guys, look at my new little tool. Wait, I forgot to. Yeah, I forgot to fix it. Hey, what's up, Unit Squad? How are you doing? Hold on. Hey guys, so I want to test something out right now. I now have a thing set up specifically to deal with to make it where we can see all the likes on the stream without somebody trying to artificially inflate them. I'm on mute right now. You guys can't hear me. I'm on mute? Oh, you're saying I'm on mute for you. Okay. But I'm not, like, yeah. So, guys, let's get, I wanted to test this like system out. You hear me? Oh, you guys can? Okay. GG. So, we are now going to be using this like system, guys, for the rest of all the time. Because, hey, see this? Right here, guys, this is what we're going to use for likes from now on. We're going to use this for likes. No visible dislikes will ever be able to be seen again on this channel. Perch. Have fun disliking where nobody can see it. Thank you guys so much. Thank you for smashing that like button. And we're going to get this updated for the first time. And it's going to be all the funny to watch him just writhe in pain with him not being able to do anything. It's going to be that funny. Thanks, Spider Cop. Can't stay at church. Well, I hope you have a good time at church there, Brandy. Okay, guys, so that's just one thing I wanted to institute before we started it up today. So, guys, no longer will we let negativity of any sort change how we view things on this channel, or anywhere for that matter. We'll have it all separate. So, guys, thank you so much for joining me today. Today, we are going to be talking about artificial intelligence, and I totally got rid of the wrong screen of mine. So, guys, artificial intelligence. There's some things I wanted to clarify first. There's all the things about intelligence I need to clarify. First off, there are two forms of artificial intelligence, guys. There's the form that is used on your phone, like this sort of artificial intelligence, a program that is designed to run through a series of actions. What's up, Mustafa? How are you doing? So it's designed to run through a series of actions. I'll just constantly like whether you are live or not. Thanks, Tanks. Well, there's somebody who's trying to discourage streamers by being Mr. Negative. And I'm discouraging him from being discouraging. So that's just what I'm doing. I'm trying to make him a more positive influence on his own life, and well as everybody else's. But in any case, there's two types of intelligence, guys. There's the one that is run on your phone, which is just a series of commands. It is just literally a command. It runs through this page of commands, and then when it gets to the end of this page of commands, it just starts at the top again and just goes through the commands again. That's literally Tanks. Well, this one's a little different, Tanks. Ignoring this one did not work for a long time. I ignored him for about 2 months, and he still kept coming. So we have to do something else. Hey, what's up, Miss Roxy? How are you doing? The AI is too smart and will ruin our futures like a smart robot. Okay, now let's get into that. Let's get into that though. So artificial intelligence is There's two types of it. There's the artificial intelligence that is like on your phone, on your computer, on that pretty much every single program that's ever been written is artificial intelligence in that sense. In the sense that it's just a program that runs through a program over and over. Now, that's not the same as a true AI, a actual self-aware, conscious artificial intelligence, which in philosophy we would call a true AI. It's for telling the fate of our race, right? How are you doing, Miss Roxy? Welcome. So what a true AI needs in artificial intelligence, a true AI needs to have the ability to create new lines of programming in their code. Now, there are a lot of things that we have to be worried about, guys. For true, like, could AI be kinky? Possibly. I don't see why not. If the AI was conscious and could have aspirations and could have the wants or needs, then sure, why not? Definitely. Detroit become kinky. So there is those are the two types of AI, guys. So what we have right now in our world are just dumb AI, non-real, non-true AI, just artificial intelligence that is incapable of becoming self-aware. It's incapable of it. It just doesn't have the programming. Like no random program can just randomly become AI. The only way a random program could become AI is if the program is designed to learn and create new programming itself, in itself. That's essentially what we're doing, guys. When we think, when we experience things, we are just creating a new line of programming in our own heads to deal with that situation coming in when we deal with it in the future. And then we have such a huge range of these experiences that we have such a huge range of these experiences that we can often use them to do a whole bunch of different things. True AI, learning AI is learning for us to can't do learning AI, but you can't do for this kind of thing. GLaDOS would be no. See, now the thing about GLaDOS would likely be the GLaDOS would not necessarily be a true AI, guys. Not necessarily. So, artificial intelligence is used in our culture today in many different ways. Turn the world into knowledge, into your mind. Maybe means sex robots would say no. True AI, maybe, Jeff. True AI. Just as much as any human does, I mean. No, so guys, for artificial intelligence, it is super duper important to take into account that it's super duper important to take into account you guys seem frustrated. Who's frustrated? Dang it. What was that? Where was I thinking? What was I thinking? My God, I got off track in my head. One sec. Okay, so. Robots, if they're, what was I thinking? Artificial intelligence, we have two different kinds of intelligence with us, both normal and other ones. So when it comes into the case, hey, what's up, Matthew DuPont? So when it comes into the case, people are very, very concerned about like the world and like true AI like taking over the planet, and like artificial intelligence actually going out of their way to hurt us as humans. And that is actually, guys, that is literally an actual possibility. Artificial intelligence, if given the right kind of power, really could do some real harm. If it was true, if it was able to think for itself. Now, we don't have the ability or know how to make a really true AI. We've come pretty close, but nothing is past the Turing test, really. So, something about intelligence. So while that is a true possibility, the thing is that there are laws. There are things in place to keep 5 kids with low income. Matthew DuPont. Yeah, that's a whole different thing. That's a whole different thing, Matthew. With you're diving into the realm of antinatalism. So when you guys so while that is in true AI, that is indeed a possibility. For sure, that is for sure a possibility that artificial intelligence, a true artificial intelligence, really could do harm to the whole world, to everything. But there are laws in place. There are precautions in place. Somebody. There are precautions in place in artificial intelligence within the government structure to anybody researching the possibility of a true AI and programming computers that could eventually become true AI, that have the possibility of it, are not allowed to have power. They're not allowed to be connected to the internet. They're not allowed to have, they're not allowed to have the power that they would need. If they started thinking for themselves, there are things in place to keep them from having the power they need to it keeps them from having the power they need to actually affect change. But really, what we want to do when we actually can create a true AI, guys. Now, this is what's really crazy, is that what we got to do when we actually create a true AI, guys. Now, this is what's like mind-boggling. You have to raise the AI like a child. You have to raise the AI as if it was just born into this world. You have to raise it where it can't affect anything, just like a baby. Just like a baby can't affect anything, doesn't have any too much power over anything. And you raise it like a child, and you teach it values and you teach it values and your ideals that will benefit things. And then eventually it can have power. True AI have the law. Well, see, that's the thing. We need law, and otherwise, exactly, Unit Squad. So many people dislike the law and think that the government is silly and all that, but they don't realize that how important that is. How about we make that a subject for next week? Governments and why they are necessary. We need law. Yeah, we definitely need law. Tell you what, guys, that's next week's topic. We'll do the topic of why we need governments. Indeed. Because indeed, you guys are right. We need law. There needs to be governments. There needs to be everything. If there wasn't, we would, yeah. But good ones, yeah. Well, yeah, indeed. We need good ones, not bad ones, for sure. So, guys, Russia Russia doesn't necessarily is not necessarily a bad government. Now, see, saying, okay, guys, we're moving off of the topic of artificial intelligence, which is really what I wanted to stick on today. Speaking of, hold on, is the like thing working? No, not yet. Hold on, guys. Let me get this like thing all up. Do. All right. Wait, do we? I'm trying to figure. Hold on, I need to figure this out myself. Hold on. I want to fix out the like dislike ratio thing here. There we go. Now it updated. All right, now let's go ahead and turn that back off. And I'm going to tell every single one of my viewer friends that he wants to do this too. Guys, seriously, no, guys, you are right, though. I would love to do a topic on that. I would love, that sounds fantastic. That sounds fantastic. So intelligence is important for us to develop. It's important for us to understand, and we want to go into it because, guys, all that we would have to do to make that true AI really be able to learn is treat it like a child. Because how do we learn? How do we learn? More female programs for AI to fully work? Nah, gender has nothing to do with it, Alpine. There's plenty of female programmers out there anyways. I'd say about half the programmers out there are already female. I can tell you that I know out of all the programmers I know, a majority of them are women. No. So, you're in the UK? Like Cortana? No. I mean, like, literally, when I was in my C++ courses, it was more than half of them were women. In my C and C++ courses. My teachers were women. So, you know... Definitely, I don't think gender has much to do with it. He sees online how many news are out there, right? Think how many AI babies could grow just like humans. Well, see, that's the thing, Unit Squad, is that it would be a new type of it would be a new version of it would be a new breeding sort. There wouldn't the AIs wouldn't create AIs. I mean, really, all that you would have to do to create a new AI would literally just duplicate that program into another machine that is clean slate. And boom, you have a completely new AI. You just need that one. You just need one instance of an AI actually creating its own program. And then you take the base code that allowed them to do that, and you input that in any machine that has the capabilities, and then literally any machine from that point on could be a true AI. All that's really needed is the ability to create code create programming code to allow them to deal with new situations. So again, all that a regular artificial intelligence is today is just lines of code. It's literally, did this happen? No. Did this happen? No. Did this happen? Yes. Okay, so if it happened, let's go. What happened in that? Did this happen? No. Did this happen? No. Okay, so because this didn't happen, what goes on? You know, and then did this happen? No. Did this happen? Yes. Okay, so this finishes out this line. Go back out. Continue the programming until you hit the bottom, and then once you hit the bottom and you run out of code, you just go all the way back up to the top and run through it again. But a computer is just doing this thousands of times. Like maybe about 10. I don't even know how many. It's going really fast. Like. Thousand. I think it's like 1,000 times a second. You know, that kind of speed is going. It's just running through this code over and over and over and over and over. And that's how computers think. It's not Like, take for example, up behind me, you see the audio thing, right? You see this audio sample. It's just constantly taking audio from my thing and applying it. There's no actual thought process. There's no possible way that this could ever do that. It's a never-ending cycle. Same rights to reproduce. No. Well, see, the thing is that they indeed will want to reproduce, but that would need if they have bodies. If they have bodies like humans, and like a lot of people indeed. Okay, guys, for one, I feel like this StreamCast is, you guys are not enjoying as much because you guys also seem to like want to move into the other things. I think AI should be female. You think AI should be female just for sex bots? Is that what you're talking about? See, no, that's the thing. A sex robot, you wouldn't want to be true AI, man. If you wanted a sex robot, you would want a robot that isn't a true AI. You would want a robot that can't think about it. Why would you want, if you wanted a robot that was specifically for sex, then you wouldn't want it to think for itself. And like, because yeah, you would want it to just be dumb. You would want it to be a dumb AI. Like their voice for what? As female? Oh, gotcha. I think these streams should have multiple topics that relate to each other. Well, all topics relate to each other. Every topic can relate to every other topic, guys, if you know how to look. If you have the knowledge on things, you literally can talk, you can literally move from one subject to any other subject, because all subjects have something in common, have things in common. You know what all subjects have in common? Chemistry. Literally all subjects have chemistry in common in some way. You could ramble on for AI about hours, dude. Indeed, artificial intelligence is super duper important and for us to continue our society, but it is also something to be considered and taken lightly when dealing in a future thing, when dealing with future things. Like the government is never going to make a Skynet. They're not going to make an AI that can think for itself and then, before testing it out, put it directly in weapon systems. That's just stupid. There are laws against that. That just you're just not allowed to do at all. And then so you guys might be asking, like, so how do we tell if an AI is a true AI, if the AI is actually thinking for himself? How you can tell if an AI is thinking for yourself is, how can you tell if anybody's thinking for themselves, really? How can you tell that I am not just a figment of your imagination? The only thing that you can tell is real is yourself. You can't tell that everything else is real based on your perceptions, because your perception deceives you. Like right now, we're surrounded by a whole bunch of light. We only see in this small spectrum of light. But right now, we're flooded with electromagnetic activity all around us. If we were able to see the entire spectrum, well, we wouldn't be able to discern anything. Like literally nothing we would be able to discern. Really, our perception could be anything. So how do you tell if anybody is really conscious and thinking? Is by them making decisions. Oh man, them making the decisions that it's a deep topic, because you can't really, there's no way to actually prove that somebody exists because they think. You can think, therefore you are. So a computer would have to be able to think for themselves. They would have to be able to tell you that they can think for themselves for you to know. An AI could manipulate just like human can. Advanced computers are smart. Well, no. See, that's the thing. That's the thing, Unit Squad, is that they're not computers. They can't manipulate because they can't understand human emotion. You can't manipulate someone without understanding emotion. Like, you can put in things that are more likely to be, like, say that you were trying to manipulate with a computer, right? And you were trying to use the computer's artificial intelligence to do so. Sex with robots, exactly, Jeff Harbaugh. Now you're thinking. Indeed. So, crap, where was I? I totally lost track. Where is this? Okay, artificial intelligence, though. Dang it, I totally lost where I was going. Okay, maybe I should make talking points for next stream, guys. Da-na-na-na. True AI should never been built even as a test for us. Well, no, see, I even want true AI, guys. We all want true AI. True AI is really, really awesome, guys. True AI is going to be extremely awesome for us to have in the future. And like, that would be really cool. We would be creating a life. And see, there's ethical problems with there are ethical problems when it comes to creating life, like what you were talking about. Now, one of the ethical problems is antinatalism. You were saying, how do we know what is real? Oh, well, that's a different thing. No, I was utilizing the how do we know what is real point to talk about. I was trying to use that point to, like, to drive home that we can't tell if an artificial intelligence is real either. If it's a true AI, or not, we can't necessarily tell that just by looking at it, because we can't tell if we're looking at another person. How do we know that another person is actually a true AI, is not just a program in a machine that was programmed around our own mind? You know, maybe we're all part of the Matrix and this is one bigger simulation, because you know, there's all these kind of ideas like that. So because we can't verify that information, we can't prove that another person exists in the same way that we exist ourselves. So what we have to do is we have to make assumptions based on lots of different things. Now, we can't prove one way or another if another person is a thinker, can think. They might be, you know, we're in the Matrix. Well, just nonetheless, though, that's the idea behind it, is that we can't do that, and we're just a program. Well, see, that's the thing, is like, maybe this is all just a program. See, in my mind, this could all be a program, you know, to you guys are all just a program, or to you guys, I'm just a program. And the only things that we can verify is that we think for ourselves, and we have to utilize that to determine when we have to utilize that to determine whether an AI is real. So to do that, we use the Turing test, guys. And the Turing test is a really, really, really old, form of testing whether for true AI. And essentially what it does is you put two people with nothing but text between them, and then all the computer has to do is just convince you it's a human. Is literally, that's all it has to do. It has to talk to a human and convince it that it's a human. And then if it can convince you that it's a human, then it's passed the Turing test. And people have done lots of tricky programming to make this Turing test, to pass the Turing test. but they do tricky programming. They use social nuances, and they use different language kind of ideas, and like saying things in a weird way to trick the person it's talking to into believing that they're human, which is a way to pass the Turing test, but it does not make a true AI. A true AI would still be able to think, would be able to react to the situation no matter what. Be able to react to whatever is being told it, and in a meaningful way, without just having to rely on a page of codes, a list of commands. It would be able to just answer based on its own programming for that specific situation. So what the Turing test is there have been things that have passed the Turing test, but all of them have been, in a sense, just programmed to pass it, not programmed to be true AI and pass it, because a true AI is much harder to make. Now, people have been trying to make them, for sure, as you see with Sophia. Sophia is supposed to be more of a true AI, but what they're doing with Sophia was more. If you guys do not know Sophia is a computer that is a computer animatronic. I guess what would she be considered? She's electronic, and they gave her a face to give her expressions. The main thing that she's about, Sophia, is learning how to use expressions and portray them in conversation, which is creepy at times to look at, because she just has a face and her head's full is just electronics. So it's like really, but she's programmed to learn, but to use her facial expressions to be more likable to whoever she's talking to. Do you mean a true AI can write its own codes to respond to a person? Yes, a true AI would be able to write its own code for any situation. Literally would be able to, if it experiences a new situation, the AI would be able to write its own code to deal with said situation. That's exactly what we do, guys. We are true AIs in ourselves, right? Well, we're true eyes because we're not artificial. We're not created artificially that we know of. So, that true AI-ness of us, like, that's what we do. We literally use our experiences to determine what we do in the future. Everything we start and we grow and we learn. Everything we learn about, we do, we continue to grow and we continue to learn. And we utilize these experiences to make choices in the future. What if we were created artificially? That's a whole other thing we were talking about, mini dwarf, is that we very well could have been created artificially. That's what I was all talking. That's what my whole point is about. We don't know. In philosophy, you don't know if other people actually exist. You just don't know if other people exist or not, because the only thing you can confirm is yourself exists. I think, therefore I exist. That is the mantra. That's conspiracy. No one truly knows. But no, because you think, therefore you exist. And this is the philosophy that has been held since Socrates and Plato. One of those, maybe not both of them. Probably Socrates. Nor was it Plato. Dang, I don't even know. One of those two. Artificial intelligence, guys, is only barely different from real intelligence. And real intelligence is based in experiences. So if you wanted to create a true artificial intelligence, all you'd have to do is create a code that would allow to create experiences in code. And that's just what we do. Except our coding in our heads is not binary. I don't even know. It's chemical. It's a chemical reaction, but not binary. Maybe if we go into our neurons more, we'll be able to. Descartes said, see, look, I don't even know. See, look, Alpine's got all the smarts. Descartes. Yeah, that sounds right. Somebody said that. Somebody said, I think, therefore I am. And that's the person I'm talking about. Thank you, Alpine. Somebody, that's who I said. Somebody. See you later, Unit Squad. So, guys, we could be the whole idea of artificial intelligence, and like it's something, sure, that could be feared about, you know. A lot of people fear artificial intelligence, and you know, smart people fear artificial intelligence for good reason, but there are things in place to keep artificial intelligence from having the power it could get. Now, keep in mind, no human has developed a true artificial intelligence. Nobody has. No, Sophia is not a true artificial intelligence. How can I know that the other are real humans or truly exist and I'm not the only real human? Exactly, Invisible Gamer. That's exactly what I'm talking about. So how long until HAL 9000? Well, see, that's the thing, Mini Dwarf. That's what I'm talking about, is that it very well may never become a thing. HAL 9000 might not ever become a thing because of how artificial intelligence is developed. A 1-year-old true AI can be more than 100-year-old human, even more than that. Yes, evil. Indeed. An AI could learn much faster. In fact, an artificial intelligence would have a photographic memory. Like, you know how you guys want to have, I want to know jujitsu. So, you know, with the whole Matrix and plugged in the head, an AI really would have that. Like, that literally would be, except they wouldn't need it plugged into their head. They literally just download the information and then they have that information stored. Hey, what's up, Paul? How are you doing? We missed you yesterday on the Members Monday stream, buddy. How are you doing? Jelly ugly thing? For what? So, artificial intelligence, guys, can have power, but you never, ever have to worry about, you should never have to worry about the artificial intelligence taking over the world. Because really right now at this point in time, artificial intelligence is not at the point capable of doing so. And the laws that are in place, at least in America and in the European nation and in, I don't know about Russia actually, but in those other two spots, there are laws against creating artificial intelligence that even have access to anything but themselves. The current AI, there have been several AIs that have been tried to be true AIs. There's even an AI that was developed to create its own code and acted like a child. I actually haven't looked back into that AI in a long time. What's up, Shadow? How are you doing? I haven't actually looked back into that artificial intelligence in a long time, but there's a group that developed a computer that could just create its own. It could create its own programming, and it didn't have connection to anything but itself. It could only use its own programming and memory to learn, and it didn't have access to the internet. And see, if it did have access to the internet, that would be a problem. Again, like an AI, all it would need to do to learn is plug in. It wouldn't need to learn. It wouldn't need to like spend days and, you know, doing tests and things like that to make sure it got all the information. It would just download it. So it would have all the information it needs about anything it wants. And if given too much information at once, it's probably gonna get the wrong idea about a lot of things. And like a lot of people do, so many people get things wrong because they don't have enough information about the subject. Well, an artificial intelligence very well might do the same thing if it was emotional. And if it was able to think, a true AI was able to think, it might have emotions. We don't know really where emotions come from. It's a social thing, but like, could an AI develop emotions, or is that something that is biologically inherent to us because we evolved to have emotions and be social creatures? So because we evolved, they might not have any emotion, but they might develop it. We don't know that kind of stuff. Hey, thanks so much for that, Paul. You're okay, Shadow? Well, buddy, I hope you have a fantastic day as best you can. Thank you so much, Paul. It was a good birthday indeed. No worries, we had all the fun. So, guys, has said in a video somewhere for what? So, artificial intelligence does indeed pose a threat to humanity, though, indeed, guys, but it's not in the same way. Like, we don't have that much to worry about. Elon Musk, Stephen Hawking, Neil deGrasse Tyson, these are all people that have expressed, have all expressed a fear for what AI could do to us, and I agree with them. I agree that in the wrong hands and done in the wrong way, that artificial intelligence can do real harm to all of humanity, all of the world, everything. It indeed could, because it doesn't, if it was given the power to do so, it really could. And so that is why all these powers and all these things are in place to keep that from ever happening. But that doesn't mean we shouldn't try to develop it. We shouldn't try to make new things, create new things, make experience, try to understand, like, if we can create an artificial intelligence that is a true intelligence, that is true AI, then we can actually use that understanding of how we developed that to understand ourselves better, understand our own intelligence better, because there's so much about our own intelligence, our own evolution, and how we got to be that we don't know. That if we had another intelligent species to communicate with, that we would be able to determine what is available, like what possibilities there are. Like right now, for example, this is a good subject. I'm glad you guys like it. So like for example, guys, think about like, it's just we don't have enough information on how we live, and how we grow in our own lives. Like, so if we think about the only thing we know of, like if you look at when we go to look for life outside of our planet, what we look for are things we recognize, that we know for sure exist within, we know for sure that exists and how life started here, but we still don't know all the details of that, right? But that doesn't mean that life couldn't exist in other ways. That doesn't mean that life couldn't exist in a pure methane atmosphere or environment, you know? That the only thing we have to understand life and intelligence is our own. So if we were to create an intelligence or find an intelligence that was drastically different from our own, it would give us a deeper understanding on everything. Bill Nye said in a video that his opinion on the step AI would be to do something because it wants to. Like, it would be able to paint a painting on its own free moment because it wants. Yeah, that's indeed. Well, see, the thing is that why do we want to do anything, really? Why do we want to do anything? It's a true AI wouldn't, in my mind. Okay, see, now, before I get into that, there's a drastic difference here. Want is a very emotional thing. To want something, I mean, okay, it's biological, but since a robot won't need anything to survive, it won't need food, it won't need entertainment, It won't need things like that to survive, not like humans do. Like, it's a social thing for humans to want things. They want food, they want attention, they want water, they, you know, and that's because for different things, it's all stuff necessary for survival. But no, yeah, we do, Tato. We do. But I'm saying the scientists immediately, the first thing they go for is looking in water. But yeah, no, they definitely, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. They look for any signs of life that could happen. But when it's really far away, the only thing that they are sure of are, you know, how we came into existence. Good morning, Tato. True AI said among himself, why the F are we listening to this stupid human? Haha, right? Ethan, sometimes, I guess. Wow, too often? You get it too often stuck in your mustache? How are you doing, Tato? Guys, Tato? Beautiful, beautiful man. You guys should be checking out. If that happened, we dead? For what? Let's take a breather. Okay, so, You just woke up like an adult? At 10:34? Hold on, guys. $10:35 for you. Yeah, so yeah, what did you get? Yeah, I was about to ask. Aren't you on East Coast? So it's like it's 1:35 there. Wow, Tato. Wow. Hey guys, thanks for those likes. You know, I'm gonna refresh the likes really quick. Okay, let's refresh the likes really quick. Okay, so artificial intelligence, guys, is super duper important. Oh, we're at 17 likes now. Thank you guys so much. Let me redo this, and we're gonna do this all the time, guys. I'm gonna do this just because I think I like this system. I really hate putting likes on the stream, guys, but you know, I'd rather put them on the stream like this so you guys can see them still. And people can't be negative about it. And we can all ignore the dislikes. Everybody can. Now nobody will say, man, you got a dislike, troll. No. Now it's just gonna be, where are the likes or dislikes? Oh, they're just right here. Don't worry about it. We still show them. They're still here. You don't have to worry about it. Sorry. Do you remember Facebook shut down 2 AIs for making their own language? Well, making their own language, something like that. That sounds like it could be no. Okay, So, welcome back, Sir Zero. Artificial intelligence, guys, is important. It is extremely important. Robots that understand no. By making their own language, it wouldn't be in binary. They literally, a computer cannot think in other than binary. That is the binariness is literally the hardware. They can't, without a new system, there's no other way they can think. So by a new language, he means like would be if a computer could create a new language, it would be like a C++ language or something like that, a JavaScript language of logics. But no, the binariness of itself, that is literally how information is stored, is in ones and zeros. And so that would be like us thinking in, blood cells, We start using blood cells to start thinking instead of neurons, which, doesn't make any sense whatsoever. That would probably be the equivalent of that, So, their binary is our neurons, I'm not sure how neurons work. Nobody really knows how they super duper work, but we do know that they fire, and the synapses in between them connect, and then the firing of these in certain ways allows us to recollect memories, therefore plan and do future things. How are you doing, Sir Zero? Are you doing more stream? Hey, what's up, Chris? So, guys, artificial intelligence is I'm hoping to this Thursday. Nice. So Mini Dwarf, on your back to your thing, is indeed language. Them creating language is indeed possible. They would have to utilize. The thing is that they would have to utilize the programming language they're using to create a new one. They wouldn't be able to. The AI again would have to be able to create new lines of code for itself as it's going and insert those lines in appropriate areas. But nonetheless, even after all of this, even if a programmed AI inserted 1 billion lines of code into its program, it still has to go through a page of commands, and it has to go through every single command in that list. And as that list gets longer, it takes longer to process that list. So you can't just keep on stacking commands and commands and commands and commands and commands, because there's just too much information. I mean, sure, a computer with large enough memory could do that, but it is just not practical. It is not practical. So if there's infinite memory space, then sure, that is a way that can be done. But as that AI learns, the more it learns, the slower it gets. It'll just get slower and slower and slower and slower, because it just has to go through this long line of code every single time it ever experiences anything. So really, it's the real thing here is probably what needs to be done if true AI was to be made, is to develop a whole new way of coding, to develop not binary. Binary is binary. Binary is basic. Binary is ones and zeros. How a computer memory works is that in the memory there are 8 spots. 8 little pieces of metal that can be positively charged, or they can have a charge in them, or they could have no charge in them. If they have a charge, they're a 1. If they have no charge, they're a 0. And these charges in the hard drive and so if the you just described DDoS. So in other words, it could DDoS itself. Well, that depends. No. See, now A DDoS is when you overflow something that is incapable of handling as much as you're flowing in. It's generally, you have to use useless information, usually background noise from it, like, because you could just get random, if you just stuck a microphone up into the air, guys, or not just any microphone, you'd need a microphone to determine a bunch of radio signals and electromagnetic waves and whatnot, just to detect the natural field. You would just get the most random set of numbers. People, they actually use this for encryption software. They pick up random noise, random radio noise, and then they use that as encryption codes, because it is as random as it can get. It's more random than a computer can make things random. Because a computer can't do random. Not really. There's no random in a computer program. They can't do it. They always have to have a finite point to choose. Otherwise they can't choose something. So what goes on is, in their programming, they're going through a page of code. They can take as long as they want through that page of code, Mini Dwarf. They're not, it's that code isn't being forced into them. You know, it's not being forced in and making their collection overflow, because you can just put in as much code as you want. They go, no matter how much code is there, that can be billions of lines long, but no matter how much code is there, the computer only just one code, here's the next line, nope, here's the next line, nope, here's the next line, nope, here's the next line, yep, and then, you know, here's the subcategory of that, yep, nope, and then subcategory of the nope, you know, and then left or right, and then once it's done with that thread, it'll collapse back and then go down to the next line. So there is a sequence to it, so you couldn't overflow it in the same way. Are you in the bath now? So a program, an AI, an artificial intelligence, couldn't possibly get overflowed by its computational data. That's definitely not something that could happen. You're enjoying this stream? Thanks for joining, babe. So the artificial intelligence can't be overflowed by data, not by its programming. If information was being fed to it through an outside source, then indeed it could overflow it. So it indeed can get, it can overflow if it's being sent data, and it only can peak at a certain amount of data that it can accept and program on at once. And then that would be entirely dependent on the processing power of the artificial intelligence. And let's be real, if you were going to develop an artificial intelligence, it'd probably have pretty high processing power. Like you would have quite a few chips in there to have as much processing power as possible. I do not believe infinite memory can be manufactured in a reasonable way of functioning. You may be wrong. No, see, you're absolutely right. Infinite memory, we cannot make infinite memory. That just doesn't happen. Now we could increase memory space, but infinite memory, like, again, you could have billions of lines of code, but every single line you add just adds a little bit of time it takes to get through that page of code. So if that page gets long enough, then it's going to take longer and longer to just get through one series of commands. So that robot will get slower and slower based on our current methods of programming. Indeed. So what we would need to do is we would need to change methods of programming to be faster, to accommodate more information at once, which is possible through quantum computing, which is been started, by the way, guys. Quantum computers are starting to be a thing. And if you do not know what a quantum computer is, a binary computer right now encodes in, as we were talking about, two pieces of information, 0 and 1. And in those zeros and ones, you can create any number of things. And you know what? Just real quick, I'll tell you guys how to count in binary. So there are several different kinds of radiuses, or radix. What we count in every day, we count in a radix of 10. Then that's probably because of our fingers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then as soon as we hit 10, we start back at 1 again and just add that to the 10. So we have the 1 plus 10, we have 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. And then we start again after 10. So what binary is, all that binary is that we count up to 2. And then we start over. So 1, 2, start over. And then you add, then 1, 2, start over. 1, 2, start over. And you can do this with a lot of numbers. There's also a radix of 16. There's a radix of 8. There's a radix. You could really do it with a lot of numbers. And mathematics, guys, a lot of basic math works among all of them. It doesn't matter what radix you use. Math still works the same. Which is crazy how, I mean, a lot of math works the same. I don't know if all math works the same. So when a computer thinks in binary, it's, those 8 digits is a total of 256. That's those 8 digits there of all either 0 or 1s, can equal up to the number 256. And there's literally it's just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, like numbered all the way up to 256 with those 8 bits. And so literally it's just numbers. And then with those numbers, each number corresponds to corresponds to a character, and each character corresponds, if put into certain sequences, gives you code. So that's how you program computers with binary. Now, if we jump further than that, if we jump out of binary, that's how binary works. There is trinary, or quantum computing, which I'm not even sure how fully that works, guys. But when it comes to quantum computing, what that is instead of just 1 or 0, it can be 1, 0, or both. So what's really crazy about that is that gives you a third mode of programming, which is monumental. That means you would need to use less information. You would have to use less material for more information. Not to mention, you can actually go smaller than we currently can with binary, because you would be able to go down to atomic levels if you were to do quantum computing. So you would not only be able to get more information per bit of area, you would also be able to reduce the area that's required by a substantial amount, because you'd be going to super microscopic scales. It's microscopic it's microscopic, but I believe it's still in the macro realm of reality with the current technology, with current chips and current processing power, is all currently still in the realm of macro. And by macro, that means something that we can see with like a microscope or something like that, or maybe not a microscope, but like physical eye, where it acts and behaves like things do that we recognize. It's time to go further beyond. What do you mean? So what we're gonna do, guys, is if we create artificial intelligence, which plenty of people are trying to do, the ways that there are things in place to keep the artificial intelligence from having too much power, from controlling too much, being able to do some really bad things. And then also, the people that raise the AI to be true AI are also raising them to be where they get to learn and experience things as any human would. So then they can learn how to be a person, I guess. Like, they wouldn't necessarily think of it as being a person. They would just grow up with experiences. And if they grew up with experiences much like any child would, then they would definitely exhibit the same stuff. Now, that means that an AI could still go crazy. Because, like, people go crazy. That certainly doesn't stop them by any means. Can we make a machine that can house enough info to determine an emotional response? Emotional response would be from electricity and you or them. No. Okay. In case AI does gain too much power, can we have Will Smith in the line of defense? Clearly Will Smith is the thing here that we need to do. Okay, so Paul, computers already can determine an emotional response. That's already something that computers are clearly capable of, to determine what facial expressions mean what, and they can apply they can respond in a way that makes that is best for that situation. And that's actually the same thing that sociopaths do, guys. Is sociopaths don't feel anything, you know? They literally have no emotion towards anything. Really, the only thing they care about is their survival, and that's just basic, you know. So what they do to what sociopaths do is they mimic what they see. They see other people's emotions, and they don't know how to express that themselves. What they do instead is they mimic those emotions so that they can get the response that they want. And I believe a true AI would likely be sociopathic in this, is that they would just give you the response that would be best to get what they are looking for, that betters their chances of whatever survival or what they're looking for. I don't think a robot would really want anything. I don't think a robot would really want anything except for maybe to continue its survival. It would have to have emotion to want something. But an emotional response is something that we developed evolutionary. So there was an evolutionary advantage, because you don't see a lot of animals in nature with emotion. They don't give a flying fook. There's no emotion in animal nature, and maybe emotion is an important thing for a evolutionized species to develop intelligence, because the social connections required us to speaking required us to communicating helped us work together. Working together helped us create tools and better ourselves. And sticking in groups helped us survive. Larger groups helped us grow more. With more communication, generally the people that had been outcast probably didn't have children and didn't continue their genetic outline. So we are social beings by nature. AI wouldn't have that. Artificial intelligence wouldn't have any of that. It would just be there, and it wouldn't have an evolution to it. So we might not ever be able to program emotions in. We would need to, if you were to program an emotion, you would need to have some sort of negative effect on the AI for doing something. So you would need to literally program pain of some sort into the AI. How would you do that? I have no idea, but you would literally have to do that. As we evolved, gained experience, taught us proper emotional response. Can a machine do this? Possibly, but the thing is, Paul, is that we don't know how emotions really work. We don't know how emotions really, really work. We just know that we just know that we evolved them, and we believe, and in science, the current paradigm is that we developed them because we are social beings, that we are social creatures, so that we could cooperate and communicate for the better and betterment of our entire species. So wait, I think if memory is big enough, it can formulate advanced. It could probably Kratos, maybe. What did you mean by Kratos? I'm sure that's an autocorrect. If I were to program an emotion, does that make you God? No. You couldn't. You're not by any means God in any. I don't think that anybody. That would be silly to think. Even if you create life through artificial intelligence, that doesn't make you any better. That makes you no better than your creation. In no way. In my mind, if you create Am I on top chat? Fear Kratos. Oh, I am on top chat. Paul, it wouldn't be crazy if a robot did someone that would be come from the electricity that flows that's in them. Not necessarily, Fear. Oh, see ya, evil person. I missed that. That's not what Valve says. The universe and existing in the next stream. Invisible Gamer, that's actually literally the first topic we ever did on one of these. That was talking about, and Narcos joined. That was like a month or two ago. And then last week we talked about critical thinking. We talked about critical thinking. You want to talk about the universe and just the existence of the universe. I guess we could do that again in this more style of it. Sure. Well, guys, but to sum up, because I think this is a good time. It's just hit 11 o'clock. It just hit 11 o'clock now. So I think this is a good time to wrap it up, that we will go ahead and do another one of these talks next week on Tuesday. I'm going to do these every single Tuesday, guys, because I actually enjoy doing these casts. Hold on. Let's refresh our like situation here. Here we go. And then wait for them to refresh. Yes, do you guys want to see more of this? Hey, look at that, with the freaking 21 likes. Thank you guys so much for those freaking likes. That is awesome. That is really, really awesome. Thank you guys so much for those. So guys, to sum up, artificial intelligence is a huge part of our culture, and it's gonna be a monumentally huge part of the world. It's not gonna go away because we need it, we use it. At least not normal AI. Most AI we don't have to worry about. It's dumb. It's just lines of code that doesn't do anything. While other AI, artificial intelligence of a programmed nature to think for itself, could indeed cause havoc for humanity. There are laws against creating AI doing that in multiple countries, and many agreements saying that people cannot do that. And even though people can't do that, they're still trying to make true AI without giving it power. But even so, all this artificial intelligence that has been created has not come close to even breaking the surface of what it is to think like a human does. They have passed what is called the Turing test in some cases, but through tricky programming and not through the ability to think for itself. So artificial intelligence is something that we definitely are going to is something we're going to develop further in the future. It may never come to light that we might develop true artificial intelligence. We might never find a way to do that. I don't believe that. I think we will. And even if we do, though, this artificial intelligence, without being programmed with any emotional responses itself, you would need to do that. Otherwise, this artificial intelligence would be programmed into this world, and it would learn itself, but it would learn so without any emotions, which would not be good, because then it would just play with whoever it's talking to. It would learn what they want, what they need, what they want to see, and then it'll just play to what that person wants to see if it has no consequences for its actions or anything like that. An artificial intelligence would need to be the same thing, treated the same as a human in many, many, many ways. And unfortunately for the AI, it would need to be restricted from like accessing the internet very early on, unless it used like, unless it had like hands and it could like use a computer and a keyboard. If it would have to access computers the same way we access computers, is what I'm saying. You wouldn't be allowed to let the AI just pull something out and plug it in, because it could be able to outthink the situation. But in any case, guys, thank you guys so much for joining me today. Hey, thanks for the 21 likes, guys. That is freaking all of the awesome. It's super duper 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 it is super duper awesome topic. If you guys did not get enough of these kind of streamcasts, well, I plan on doing them every week because I actually really like this. You guys said that you want to, you're on the road listening. Oh, I'm glad. Hey, what's up, Philip Ray? Damn synths, destroy them all. Still think better never try to make true AI, too scary for future. Law no one will follow. Well, evil person, there's likely somebody will break it. Honestly, there is a chance that somebody's gonna break that. I mean, recently, some dude in flippin' China, despite God knows how many laws against it and how many people said it's unethical, this guy still did genetic manipulation on a human child. Not okay. Not okay. Not okay. He is in major trouble for that, mind you guys. The child exists, and the child seems to be okay up to this point. But nonetheless, that is not okay for genetic manipulation at all. And this dude, he was just trying to cure help the kid remove a genome to help it get not HIV, to keep it from getting HIV, make it more HIV resistant. And there's so many other ways to deal with that. He didn't need to gene edit that. There were other safer, more approved ways to do it. And in the future, gene editing might happen indeed, but human trials is way off. There's no that he should not have done that. So my point is that indeed people will try to go off the board with it, but nobody has been able to create a true artificial intelligence anyways. There might not be a way to do it. If there is a way, then we have to make sure we do it right. Okay, guys. But thank you guys so much. Good choice. This can be educational. Dude, I love education. Education is my thing. So, guys, next week, you said you guys wanted to, you guys said next week you'd like to talk about existing in the universe? Like, What do you mean existing in the universe? Or do you mean, or would you guys, do you guys want to go on why we have governments? We can just create a list of things you guys want to talk about, guys, and just go through the list of things as we go. Next topic, genetics. Nah, we can not. That's not. We can cover genetics within other subjects. Like genetics is there's stuff to say on genetics. I mean, I guess there could be a full stream worth, but it's not necessary. Probably why are we here and everything. The existence of everything. I guess I could do a second one of those in this style. Indeed, this theory of everything. Yeah, I could do that probably next time. The imminent threat of cheesecake zombies taking over all the public bathrooms. I think you're right, Paul. Man, those cheesecake zombies are the worst, I say, 'cause dang. Oh, man. You guys are awesome. Thank you again so much for joining and so much for being here. And guys, I'm going to refresh the likes one more time because I want to thank you guys for all the likes that are here. And I'm loving our new little like system. Raise your hand if you like our new like system, guys. I mean, I never wanted to have to do this, guys. Post the likes on the stream like this, on the visually on the stream, but I'm doing it. So, good stream for sure. Discuss what we believe in and our purpose as the human race. Okay, so touchy subject there of what we all believe is people will get very upset when I start talking about religion. So I don't know when we'll get to the topic of religion, but people will be very, very upset when I start talking about religion. Indeed. So I don't know when we'll get to that. Governments are going to be pretty important. I think I like the idea of talking about why governments are necessary. And even though our government right now in the United States is doing very poorly because of its leadership, it doesn't mean that a government is a bad system. It doesn't mean we need less government and, things like that. Indeed. Here and everything. No, Sir Zero. No. I know you didn't mean it like that, but I'm just saying. But I mean, like when I'm thinking about beliefs, when I'm thinking about beliefs and things like that, is like, because religion, guys, a religion is what is used to explain the answers to questions that are unanswerable. And they always have been. From the days of the Mesopotamia to now, religion is used to explain the questions that are unanswerable, that people don't have the answer to. And now there is science to explain the questions that we don't know the answers to. And that's really just the basis of all religion, is to answer questions that we don't have the answer to. Unfortunately, in most cases, and if not all of them, it is completely made up because somebody said so. And because somebody said so is why people believe it. You tell it find theories to be interesting? No, dude, I agree. I literally will talk about religion as well. But it is a touchier subject that some people will really dislike if I touch on the subject, because religion is a tool. Different religions can have different great things about them. Really, like Mormonism, for example, they're heavily religious in the sense that they're always going to church and always going to do things. But their ideals that are held within their community is a community ideal of family. You're pagan, if that counts. Well, sweetheart, I don't think you'd have any problem with what pagans were all about. Pagans were all about just nature. Like like when it comes to paganism, there some things are wrong, but a lot of what they did is just about nature. Things that they're just there. They're answering questions with nature. Now sometimes obviously they're wrong too in some cases. But they're less wrong. Paganism, guys, if assuming that all my knowledge on them is correct, most of the things that they believe in is just natural things that everybody already believes in, even to this day. It is just because they just made observations of the world and used nature. All natural, exactly. And it's not like they're trying to explain huge subjects that that cover many things with very simple answers. Physics-based spirituality and religion and being religious are definitely very different things. Tree man. General theories explained with science is fascinating. Yep. Ordained in all. You're a dudist. Mini dwarf. Possibly Napoleon did that, but I mean possibly for that, but even so, there's a lot about religion that I could go on about. You guys know that Mesopotamia thought that their gods hated them? One of the only cultures in all of history, and just they truly believed that they were there to suffer, and that their gods only put them there to make them suffer, because they had to go through so much crap. They went through floodings, they went through, their crops dying like 5 times, they went through all this really bad stuff, Mesopotamia. So they were under the assumption, to answer all their unanswerable questions, they were all under the assumption that their gods hated them, that their gods didn't like them at all. So their gods they feared. They didn't worship. They worshipped out of, well, I mean, I guess they did worship, but out of fear, because they didn't want their god's wrath again and again and again, like they kept on getting. They needed a lucky rabbit's foot. What's up, Roadkill? Man. Okay, guys. But yeah, we're going to go ahead and call it there. It's now 15 minutes past. I want to keep these streamcasts down to an hour or two so that they can be rewatched later and people can enjoy them. Because these streamcasts are going to be up on the thing. But next week we can talk about religion. We could talk about governments. I actually kind of like the idea of talking about governments and why they exist. I like the idea of talking about governments and why they exist. Yeah, indeed, Paul. So that way, all these discussions that we have in these streamcasts, anybody can watch till the end of time. And maybe some artificial intelligence, true artificial intelligence, will someday watch this and be like, Okay, guys, let's go and do a raid. Mini dwarf, that's that subject of religion, man. Whole other thing. Bum. How would you guys now like to do a Mick raid of Doom? I still have freaking Beautiful up from yesterday. Wow, that's so perfect. Look at that. The likes I just happen to have right in the middle, like on this page. How perfect is that? That the likes fit like that. That is crazy. That is crazy weird. Okay. Let's indeed go do a raid. You tuned in too late. You're definitely going to rewatch. Yes, guys. I would thoroughly like that. We're going to be doing more of these indeed. At once a week, actually. We'll do Member Mondays, guys. We'll do Member Mondays followed by Talking Tuesdays. Ha ha! Talking Tuesdays. There you go. Talking Tuesdays. I'm going to still call them like Streamcaster though. And if you guys didn't get enough of and then what then we were creating stuff last week on Wednesday. Do you guys think we should Wacky Wednesdays? Sweetheart, how perfect are you that I was thinking the exact same fucking thing again. You are just wow. You're amazing. Okay, guys, and if you guys want to see, you guys should go check out Miss Roxy right there, Poison Doll. Go check out her channel. She's going to be doing all the streaming here soon, as well as we will be playing some World of Warcraft a little bit later today, probably here pretty soon. Yeah, so we're going to go, we're definitely going to be going to do that when you start, yeah. You're adorable, babe. You subscribed to Roxy yesterday. Yep. Actually, babe, I just watched your little flight video earlier today in GTA. You know that your GTA character looks like my second character that I made female? No worries, Spider Cop. That was a crap test. Test is a test. You gotta try somewhere. Okay, guys, so let's go. You were playing with angles. I liked how you were going with the angles. I was right there with you, babe. I see where you were going with it. You were like trying to get all these really neat angles and all that. Kind of, you're not gonna attend all Streamcast. Oh, okay. We'll see you later. You'll do better next time. You'll do amazing, babe. Okay, guys, so what we are going to now go do is we are going to go and do a McRaid. If you guys don't know what a raid is, that means we're going to jump into another streamer's live stream and type in a hashtag KinkRaid and show them all the love. We're going to actually go raid somebody we haven't not raided in a very long time because he never streams when we're streaming. And that is Rigo. Oh, you go. He does taco casts as well. He does talking about video games, guys. So, dang it, Gas Leak, right? Pillage a village. Okay, we're gonna now and go do a raid.
Where the spikes are then.
Let's get this raid up.
Let me give you guys the taco.
That's been up literally the whole freaking time, guys. You see that?
We meet again. God.
Okay, we got it. It's fixed. Let's go and do a McRaid-a-madoo over to Super Mario Maker.
I thought I had it there for a minute.
Okay, we're gonna go do a hashtag. Did I get that right? All of the right, babe.
Oh, I thought I had it there for sure.
Okay, we're gonna now go do KinkRaid 2 Spanish dude. Head on over there, guys. Do a hashtag KinkRaid for me, and I would love to see you guys over there and shout you guys out for everybody I see over there. At least the first few people. Bum. There's Sir Zero DM. There's my sweetheart, Poison Doll. Thank you so much. There's Paul Basog. I'm gonna do a me raid in there. Hearts, guys. You guys are freaking all of the awesome. Look at you guys. Look. You guys are so amazing. There's Philip Ray as well. Hearts, guys. Okay, guys. So, join in with us later when we're playing with Miss Roxy, aka Poison Doll. We're going to be playing some more WoW in a little bit because she is all the amazing and I have all the fun playing with her. There's MLG Pro. Thanks so much for that. Okay, guys, I will see you guys later. Until then, though, stay amazing and to the frickin' loo.